Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's TRL Virtual Footy Show. And I'm Andrew O'Brien. I'm the Obee in the Obee and Cookie Call, and joining me is my lifelong friend and co-commentator, former State of Origin player Terry Cook. How are you, Cookie?
Yeah, good, Obee. How are you? Hello, Gus, and hello, Matty. Welcome to the TRL Footy Show tonight.
And
this is my dog, Taylor.
And Taylor Swift, our guard dog, mate. Good on you, Cookie. And then I thought we'd have a coach's view tonight, So joining us is Highfield's coach and Valley's coach. Highfield's coach, first to you, Gus McKellar. How are you, Gussie?
Yeah, good, thanks, boys.
That's good. And over to Matt Schulze, the reigning 2019 Premiership winning coach, Matt Schulze. How are you, Schulze?
I'm good, thanks, guys. How are you going?
That's good. And if we can have Matthew turned up a little bit, Barry, that'd be great. But first to you, Cookie. Now, Cookie, Matthew Schulze, he is a chance of being the Premiership winning coach for 2 years in a row if they don't have the competition this year.
Is that right, Obee?
Yeah, I worked that out all by myself.
So they're just back-to-back premiers if the season's cancelled. Is that how it works?
Well, they've gone back-to-back to back-to-back there, Matthew Schulze. How do you feel about that?
I don't know if you can win a comp if it's not played, so probably just carry on being the premiers for a little bit longer, I guess, from last year.
Well, let's talk about NRL, and the single refs has really been a topic today and yesterday, and looks like they're going to court. Cookie, what's your thoughts?
I think they get too much as it is. I think they need to suck it up, and for the state of the game, I think everyone would just like the football to be back on the TV. Something to look forward to. I think the referees, none of them are getting sacked. I don't know what their gripe is. I'm not sure too much about it, but I know they're going to arbitration, and I think it's a poor reflection on the Referees Association. I think they need to take a bit of a hit like the players have. The players have taken their hit. I think Volandis is doing a great job in trying to get the game back up and running in a short time, and I think the referees have to follow suit and take their little bit of a hit. But the arbitration will work that out, and let's hope it is all finalised by the end of this week so we can start up next week.
Gus McKellar, I've always been one referee supporter. We've got the bunker. We're over-reffed to the hilt. What's your thoughts on NRL with these referees?
Oh, I actually think it's a good thing. To myself, you watch some of those international games that we've had, and I thought they've actually flowed better than most NRL games. As you said, too many opinions on the field can lead to confusion, and we saw a howler in the grand final where they won court 6 again and they didn't see it. So I can't see anything wrong with it. And as you said, everyone's had to take a haircut, so I'm not sure what the issue is there.
Matthew Schulze?
Yeah, no, I said I think one referee will be better for the game. Yeah, I think it's the way to go. It wasn't that long ago. I don't know why so many people are upset about it. It wasn't that long ago. Everyone was calling for one referee. Volandis comes in, makes it happen within a month, and I think it's the way to go. Hopefully the referees come around pretty soon.
Yeah, well, while we're on referees, Cookie, I've noticed with the Toowoomba Rugby League that every year they've had a shortage, but I've been very, very pleased with how referees and the way they performed over the last few years in Toowoomba Rugby League. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, they've done a great job, the referees. Their numbers have been good and strong, and they've blooded a lot of young new blokes, and there's been some good competition at the top, so which is always healthy. So I think the refereeing standard out here in the bush has been first class, and hopefully we can, while this downtime of no rugby league, I hope there's a few more get accredited while they can, and just need the practical side of it to come to the fore when the season kicks back up.
Yeah, to Matthew and Gus, I remember when we first started these broadcasts, Cookie, 5 years ago, and we were sort of just going by the fly side, and we'd sort of give the referees a bit of a pasting through the week or through the games. But I think because the profile that we have, first to you, Gus McKellar, it's been good because we're the only friends, aren't we?
Yeah. Refereeing, I think sometimes I don't get much help from the sidelines. I think that's probably my biggest. I'm not sure what Schulze and that think, but a lot of times I don't expect the referees to see everything, but I do sometimes expect the touch judges and that to probably help out a little bit more, and because they pretty much got the same view that we've got sitting on a sideline. So it's not about bashing up, and there's always room to improve. But I think, a lot of the NRL, fiddlers and that are saying that the touch judges now have to go and do more and have a bit more of a say than just putting the flag up when the ball goes out.
Yeah, Matthew Schulze, you've always had exposure to referees, both on schoolboys and juniors and also TRL. I think the TRL and grassroots, we've got it right because we really try and help them. Don't you agree, Matthew?
Yeah, look, as Gus said, I think there's been a lot of young guys coming to reffing first grade in the last couple of years, and they've done a really good job. I still think obviously it is a tough gig, and there is, it's hard out there when, everyone's yelling at you. But I think overall they've done a really good job, and there does seem to be a bit of a junior base of referees. So hopefully we can just keep developing them and keep them around to help out in the game in the future.
Cookie?
Yeah, hopefully with the NRL cutting back to that one referee, there'll be a bit of an overflow from the NRL, which will flow back into the Intrust Cup, and then hopefully the Intrust Cup have a bit of a surplus there, so it might flow back into the country rugby league. So hopefully in the next couple of years, with the game going back to that one referee status, I hopefully, the standard's not too bad. As Gus said, probably from the sidelines they need a bit more support, but we need to really promote and get more numbers, which creates healthy competition, and that will strengthen it right across the board, especially from the bottom up, and that's where we need to start it.
Yeah, Cookie, I've always been an advocate of human nature more than anything about, we need to have the human thing come into the rugby league, and that's what makes us talk, and there's always going to be controversial decisions because they are human after all.
And that is for sure, and people the game's lost its touch with all the bunker and all the commercialism of it. As you say, that they still make mistakes. That people have to learn to live with. Some go your way, some don't go your way, and that creates your character and builds your drive, I suppose. And I think the more that we have of that, the better the character the player is, and the whole competition. It just shows a great sporting light on it, how rugby league, is at the forefront of, yes, some you win, some you don't.
Matthew Schulze, you're the premiership winning coach, and we're in this unknown season which you weren't going to have after you finished the premiership last year. And how's it out at Valley's Roosters land?
No, mate, I haven't been out there for a while, so obviously, yeah, it's really different at the moment, and just probably the uncertainty. Yeah, it really makes things tough. You know, we've tried to keep in touch with our players as best we could. You know, we've given some ideas and that for training and what they should be doing, and we've got a bit of a plan in place for when things come back, if they come back. And yeah, as said, it's just a great unknown. And saying that hasn't been the worst thing to be away for a little while and just do some other things. But yeah, you'd obviously rather be right in the middle of the season right now, but not to be.
Matthew, have you had any players that have been affected because of work, etc., that you may not see if the season starts again?
Yeah, in terms of, we've already heard from a few blokes that have said, you know, for various reasons that regardless of the season goes back or not, that they won't be playing. You know, we've spoken to a few blokes that are just really unmotivated. You know, we had a pretty big preseason. We started in November, and between our trials and, you know, a few guys playing in knockout competitions, you know, they were really pumped up and ready for the season. So it was quite deflating for them. And yeah, so definitely moving forward, we have lost a couple of players, yeah, for those couple of different reasons.
So I suggest, you know, like the talk has always been after the premiers do winners the hangover. Well, first to you, Cookie, it's unknown territory for Matthew and Valleys, you know, so you can be excused to say, well, they're going to have a hangover, whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah, you always... First, you got to get the competition up and running. Isn't that right, Matty, before you even start? So, yes, there might be a bit of a hangover, but from Valley's past, Gus would know this, they've gone 7 in a row or won 6 out of 7. I'm not sure quite of the numbers, but they certainly know as a club how to handle the pressure of the top position. And I'm sure years gone by, that still flows through the Valleys club today. So they know how to handle that situation, and let's hopefully they do get to defend their title this year. But if not, I'm sure they'll be ready and raring to go to defend it next year. And can't wait. Let's hope we get a bit of footy in this year, but if not, we'll come back bigger and stronger than ever, the Toowoomba Rugby League, in 2021.
Now, Matty Schulze, yes, sort of haven't probably had any time to sit down and really take in that you won the premiership last year, because it's a whole new ball game now. But a two-part question. You've been keeping contact with those key players that won the premiership last year, and they're all motivated, and it's a whole new ball game. Do you sort of reflect on last year's win?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's obviously, you know, fantastic, mate, and so I don't take a lot of credit for what occurred then. But yeah, obviously we were pretty lucky that a lot of the squad from last year were coming back. We're keen to play, and we didn't have too many losses, and picked up a couple good ex-Valleys juniors come back to the club. So that was really exciting, and hopefully, you know, they'll continue to stick around even if we don't get to play this year. But you know, obviously this year, you know, it's great to have, you know, co-coaching with Ned Murphy again. And I know I was only speaking to him this morning, and, you know, we do try and touch base with some of the players as best we can. But, yeah, it's, as I said, it's just been pretty unusual, the whole situation.
And Gus McKellar, I know you've been working really, really hard with your roster, and especially with you do have players that live in Brisbane, and you've got players coming back. So are you organised going forward?
Yeah, mate, we're a much better spot than we were sort of this time. I would say this time last year, pre-season last year. Anyway, heard you talking about hangovers there. We seem to have a pretty bad hangover from that preliminary loss last year, and lost a few blokes lost a bit of motivation. But if anything, it's been a super long pre-season for my guys. They finished in August last year, so they're chomping at the bit. But to give them credit, they've been really motivated. I sort of give them the pillars to work off, but they keep each other motivated, which is a good sign.
And Cookie, the best recruit this year, Corey McGrady going to Highfields, and the anticipation just been stopped at the altar for Highfields, hasn't it, Cookie?
Yeah, they obviously decided that they needed a halfback that, what would you say, game managing halfback, because it'll help Jared Lee and just complement their whole spinal system. Nick Bainbridge, I think, Gus will be able to tell you more about this, is coming back. So they were looking red hot. They'd be one of the favourites up there if we did kick off. But the sad thing about it is, as Matty just said, we're in the unknown at the moment, and we're just in limbo. And time will tell eventually that we will know more at come the end of this month, and a bit more through the next month, whether we get started and whether Valleys do get to defend their title without Corey McGrady, who was probably their shining light over the last couple of years.
And Gus, you seem to be building very, very well with Corey and Nick Bainbridge coming back and working towards gathering momentum going into the first round. And you'd be pretty confident coming there. But how are you feeling now coming into what most probably is going to be a one-round sprint to the grand final?
Yeah, there's going to be no room for a slow start, that's for sure. Obviously we picked up Corey, and we've got a few other guys there too. But I think the problems we had last year are just going to be solved by Corey McGrady. It's if that's what we're thinking, we're in for a rude shock. He's obviously going to make a big difference to our team, but there was a lot of little things that we pride ourselves on that we didn't do very well last year, and they're the things we've really been training hard on. And probably, if anything, just having that bit of new blood in the club is probably what we needed. We're at a time where a lot of the blokes I had have been with me for 5 years or 6 years, and have given everything they can to the club, and probably just to have Corey and Nick and them show up again, just put a bit of a bounce back in their steps. And, it's an exciting year for us, but we're starting to we're not quite as advanced as Valleys yet, but we've got such a good junior club. Some of those juniors are starting to peel into our senior ranks, and still takes time to develop those kids. But if you can get a good spine around them, or a good, senior group around them, just gives you those year or two to keep that happening. And whilst you're doing that, those kids become your next pillars, and away you go. Very, as I said, Valleys are very good at it and always have been. So that's the angle we're taking. It's just to add a few extra senior players, but, we are still really massive interest in our kids, and want to make sure that we're strong for years to come.
I suggest to you, Gus McKellar, that yes, you would have been disappointed with your forward pack last year. But blokes like Nick Bainbridge and Corey coming on, because you've still got the same roster with your forwards, and you're less Darcy Morosky, you see. So are you not hoping, but what plans you put in place to really hit the ground running come your first game?
I would, it's hard to say that, if anything, last year we were probably the second lowest scoring team, if anything. So we probably really struggled to put points on last year, and a lot of that was, just we had a lot of injuries early in the year, and we're trying to get momentum. And I've had blokes away for work. Lots of training was just a nightmare last year. So to say that we're disappointing forwards, obviously losing Darcy's massive loss for us, but that's footy. Sometimes when you lose one, you find a rough diamond somewhere, and we've got Jacob Leach back this year who done his ankle in the second game last year after we lost Darcy the week before for a month. He's put on 10 kilos, and he really wants to be a leader. And we've still got lots of Will O'Grady and Connor O'Nolan and Sammy Beefield and Smithy, and so yeah, probably to single out the forwards last year is probably hard, because if anything, we just had no continuity. There wasn't one time last year I had the same 7 and 6 every 2 weeks in a row, and you can't get any continuity or any momentum when that's happening. And so I just pretty much want to put a line through last year, and we just regroup for this year.
Yeah, well, let's put it in perspective, Cookie, because we did a lot of Highfield's game early in the season, and if anything, we were fairly disappointed, but because we loved Highfield's tenacity, didn't we, Cookie?
Yeah, that's for sure, Obee. But as Gus said, continuity was their probably biggest handicap, and having blokes like Jared Lee, Brad Appo, and miss big chunks of the season through work commitments and different stuff like that, especially in your spine area, it's hard to lay a platform to build on. And Gus will know, and Matty will tell you the same thing as coaches. You've got to build that platform early in the season that takes you through in the hard times when the whips are cracking at the end of the season. So, as Gus said, he'd rather put a line through that 2019 and look forward to maybe a 2020, if not 2021, when it will be on.
Yeah, I think if you go, but over to you, Matty Schulze. One thing I've liked about the Valleys Club is that they've had such a change of personnel. Benny Cook come after Hugh Sedger left, etc. Corey's gone to Highfields this year, and the juniors coming back, and Ryan Stevens coming back from injuries. You've got Brock DeMint coming back, so you've got to be happy with your stability of your club moving forward, Matthew Schulze, and the 3P is a real goal that you can look forward to.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, we were really happy with the squad that we were able to put together. It was really good to get Brock Dimmock back. Brock was a Queensland schoolboy and a Queensland under-18 player, and he only turned 20. It might have been today, actually, turned 20. And Mackenzie Reid was a really big in for us too. He played, all his junior footy at Valleys, and he's been in Brisbane for a little while now. But he's, he was coming in there, obviously probably play 7 for us. So he was an excellent pickup as well. And yeah, there's a couple of other players there that we'd picked up. But as I said, we retained most of our players, and we were really looking forward to getting stuck into the season. And, we obviously had a lot of faith in our squad and a lot of faith in our players, and we knew that obviously the competition was going to be a step up again from last year. We knew teams like Highfields, Wattles and Warwick and Dalby were going to be really tough. But we thought we could definitely give the competition a bit of a shake, and still might be able to just yet too.
I suggest the Valleys Highfields game is going to be an absolute ripper when you do get together. But I suppose a bit of a godsend, Matthew Schulze, that the Corey McGrady change to Highfields, his junior club there, where he played juniors, was good because you could have had enough time to really sort out your roster.
Yeah, obviously we knew Corey was going on pretty early. So obviously, I said we were able to get in contact with people like Macca and that, and obviously, yeah, he'll make a big difference to Highfields. He's a class player, and he goes really well, and they're always Highfields always been a bit of a bogey side for Valleys. Gus could probably put it, but I think in the last 4 or 5 years, Valleys have only beaten Highfields once, and that was last year. And for some reason, and they do have a tough forward pack, and they're just a tough physical side. And obviously, you put guys like a Corey McGrady in there to steer those forwards around, and probably someone like Darcy Morosky will probably see him back playing for Highfields, I imagine, this year now, given the circumstances that are happening with Q Cup. So that'll just strengthen their forward pack up even more.
Whenever that may be, whether it be this season or next.
Yeah, whenever it is.
We can't wait for the Valleys Highfields match, mate. Won't that be a perler?
Oh, there'll be a bit of sledging going on, I'd say.
Yeah, and Gus McKellar, and I'll come back to you, Matt, about the Intrust Cup players coming back to the grassroots. There's been a lot of talk about it, but bring it on, I say, Gus McKellar.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, it's not all, there's a bit to it because you still got to, protect the players you've got, and it can be pretty disheartening for a quality player and probably have to go back to reserve grade because you decide to bring in 4 or 5 cup players. It's a tough one, but my sort of view on it is I think they probably need to cap it to a degree, just to protect the local competition, because a lot of these players will only come for this, if we get one round out or whatever, and then they'll be going back to their club, and, what's left of the players after that had to be pushed back or decided not to play because they got pushed back, could leave you in a bad spot next year. So it's a real juggling act to get that right. Maybe to a degree where players like a Mitch Carpenter, he went from Pittsworth to State League. Well, maybe that's an exempt State League, trade back because they're from Pittsworth, or Darcy from Highfields, or we saw Jerome Burns come back, but he was originally from Valley, so maybe they're exempt. But maybe my thoughts are that probably needs to be capped from players just coming back for this quick, so they can have a game of footy and then leave the competition and go back to their thing next year. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with there, to be honest.
What's your opinion, Cookie? Come on, put your opinion out there, Cookie, and tell us what you really think.
I think you're getting better with age, Obee, as a compare, that is for sure. But, I'm with Gus. I think they need to cap it because it's not fair on those blokes that started the pre-season, have been with the club, let's say, for 10 years and have put all the sweat, blood and tears into it, and then some Intrust Cup player just wants to have a run around in a shortened comp in our comp, and the bloke that's spilt the blood and the tears gets shafted back to reserve grade or even C grade. So I'm with Gus. There might be a few exemptions along the track for the local juniors that have gone on to State League that come back, but I'd like to see at least one person, one player. They can only have one State League player in Trust Cup level just to boost the competition, to give it a bit of exposure.
Now, suppose, Cookie, that we're not inundated with those Intrust Cups coming back. We've got the Mitch Mitch Carpenters and those sort of stuff. It's not as if we've got a big line out the front of our competition that want to come back. So it's wait and see, isn't it?
Yeah, that is for sure. That'll be up to the board. The TRL board will decide all those things. But I'm happy with the dual registration and that. But just because Intrust Cup's totally cancelled this year and won't start till 2021, I wouldn't like to see our comp tipped upside down by players, just as Gus said, coming back just to have a run in a shortened competition just to play footy this year.
And Cookie, are you confident that the Taunton Rugby League will have some form of competition, especially in A grade this year?
No, because our Premier and the Chief Health Advisor, the way they're talking is pretty negative stuff at the moment, and they're not rushing into opening things up, which I'm a believer in, like especially out in the country areas where we haven't had one case and it's not as though, I don't know, I'm not an expert on it, but I'd like to see, especially in our industry, the hotel industry, I'd like it sped up, especially in areas out here in rural area where, we haven't got the numbers and we haven't got the cases out here. I'd like to see it opened up a bit quicker and probably in not so much states, but in districts. So that's how I'd like to see it.
And Matthew Schulze, are you confident the A grade will have some form in this season?
Oh, not if I'm being truthful, mate. No, I don't. Not confident. Definitely not.
Yeah, well, what I think, and I go over to you, Gus. I think that we all want one round and sprint to the finish as well. I know that there's 12 teams. Maybe if we've got 6 teams in each conference, and then that means that there's 5 games, and then 2 weeks to the final. That means that one round is 11 weeks or 10 weeks, whereas we went for conferences and just played each other once. Well, that's 7 weeks. Well, that's the next sort of option as we go down and down and down when we know our guidelines. Gus McKellar?
Yeah, well, I guess one good thing is we've got a deadline. So June 12th is the deadline that we get whether the comp's going ahead or not, and that's simply based on if it's stage 3, we can have up to 500 people at a game. So my understanding is if that doesn't happen, we're dusted. So the 2 pools of 6 competition they were talking about was playing everyone in your pool twice and then having a top 4 at the end is one suggestion that was thrown up. To me, I can't. That's 10 rounds on its own. I can't see why we can't play just the normal. Everyone plays each other once. So it's probably the fairest way you can do the competition as is, and play into October if we have to. I don't think you'd find anyone that would say I don't want to play into October, and the minority that might be, so be it. But my understanding, Obes, is that 12th of June is the D-Day. We'll know either way whether we're on or off.
Yeah, well, more thinking about the 11th of July when the community sports come back. Is that right, Gus?
Yeah, so the stage 3 is at July 11th weekend, and at the moment they're only allowing, I know you said you read something different, but as far as all the stuff I can find is they're only allowing 100 people at one gathering. So the TRL are talking with the government to try and get that lifted to 500. If that happens, I think we're on. If it doesn't, I think we're dusted. So it's a real 50-50 at the moment, and it's a hard one to read because, as you said, they don't open borders till September and stuff like that. But in hindsight, as Cookie said, the poor publicans and that probably haven't had a case regionally for I don't know how long, suffering, and why if we haven't had a case in the Toowoomba Rugby League, why shouldn't we get some different exemptions? So, but I don't get paid enough to make those decisions, so it's just going to be wait and see.
Gus and Matty, if we get from like we've got one round, which is the preferred option, but if we get less than that, we go to 7 weeks. Would you be in favour of that, Gus?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard. I want to say no to footy, but it's it resemble a pre-season competition in my mind. And would you really get the best team out of a 6-team competition and have a worthy premier? I suppose it's a tough one, and from players I've spoken to, they're not that keen on it. They're pretty keen to want to have a full round if possible, if we can. I don't speak for everyone. I just know back from my playing days, to be sort of like a school comp where it's pretty quick and over and dusted. Whether you be full, whether you consider that as a full premiership, I don't know. I'd find it hard to say that I won a premiership in 2020 when I only played 5 teams out of the 12-team competition. So,
yeah, I suggest, Matthew Schulze, you're of the same opinion.
Yeah, it's as Gus said, it's hard. It'd be hard to knock back any footy, but I just think it just leaves too many unknowns. Like, as Gus said, you mightn't play everyone yet. You crown the premiers. If you had to put in 2 pools or 6, how do you decide who's in what pool? Do you go city country? Do you go based on last year's results? But then, it's hard to go based on last year's results because someone like Highfields, for example, they're probably one of the favourites this year. But, they finished down towards the bottom of the table last year. And even someone like, Pittsworth, who might, as you said, might get a Carpo and those type of blokes back, they could be a lot stronger too. So I think, how you decide who would go into what pool would be really tough. And, not being able to play everyone. And our players are the same. They ones I've spoken to wanted a full season, like a full round if we were to play again.
So, Cookie, not one full round or call it off?
Yeah, I'm with Gus. The fairest way, and same as Matty, the fairest way is just one complete full round because you get to play each other once and then otherwise, no. Call the comp off and maybe have a knockout comp. I don't know. Bring in Kingaroy or, have a big 20-team comp at the start of the pre-season. I don't know. Let's hopefully get up and running by the 11th of July and play each other once and then finals. And
so,
then,
Cookie, have you been missing your
move on to
sponsors?
2021?
Stevie Reynolds, has he been missing you, mate?
Actually, he was in yesterday. Called in and had a pizza and a quick beer. So it was good to see Stevie and S&K Drilling. They're moving forward. They're building a big shed out on the farm and expanding the business by the sounds of it. And it's good to see people are still out there working hard and keeping this country running because we need all the workers and industries back and running as fast as we can.
And we thank our other sponsors, CNR Concreting, Coach Killers, as everyone knows, Craig and Jocko, for Sutto, great supporters of us, to name a few, Cookie.
Yeah, that is for sure. Hutchison Builders, who's been with the Toowoomba Rugby League for a long, long time, and they've been around since 1908. They've been fantastic supporters of the Toowoomba Rugby League. Wilsondon Better Home Living and Electrical, they've been great supporters for a long time. Toowoomba Kia, who have just come on this year. Bottle Mart, hopefully we'll get back to a few blasts from the past. Gus, you can be the blast of the past tonight. So how many GFs you play in?
Played in for
over your whole career. No, yeah, over your whole career. Even juniors.
I didn't play any in juniors. Oh, sorry, I played one. So, yeah, 10, I think, all up.
10, and how many did you win? 8.
Trying to think. 6.
6 out of 10, that's a pretty good strike rate.
It's hard. It's hard, Gus, when you forget that. How about you, Matty Schulze?
I think there's about 3 junior ones. 2 out of 3 there. 1, 2, about 4 senior ones, 4 or 5 as a player.
And Cookie?
Me, 8. And 1 4.
Yeah. You are a legend. And let's not forget
I don't know about
our wonderful sponsors, Power FM Radio, Robbo, and the team out there. And we can't wait for the footy season to start again. We'll take a break now, guys, and we'll come back. And I've got a couple of options I'm going to put to the boys for next season. So this is the Toowoomba Rugby League Virtual Footy Show. Just waiting for you. Yeah, well, g'day, Burnsy. It's been a while since we've spoken. It seems like ages, mate.
Mate, it has been. Obviously, with everything going on, it's footy's probably been put on the back burner for a bit, but it's good to talk to you.
Yeah, and you would have had to go back and reintroduce yourself to your wife. Is that right, mate?
No. I've been spending a bit of time at home with the kids and that with this lockdown, so she's loving it at the moment.
You've bashed your body from heaven to hilt this last few seasons. Would have been a godsend for you to get your body ready for what may be the season?
Yeah, I had a pretty big pre-season, actually. I lost a fair bit of weight and I sort of knuckled down, had a big pre-season. We had Luke Duggan doing our fitness, so the boys were fit and ready to go. So it's a shame, but like I said, everyone's going through it. We just got to be ready if the season reopens, I suppose.
Sounds like Mitch Corner, you're not training him enough. He's ran 63 kilometres for cancer. So what's the story there, Travis?
Yeah, I think he's got some personal stuff happening there with cancer in his family. So Mitch is a champion bloke, a champion player for our club, and I wouldn't expect anything less. So at least he'll keep fit, I suppose.
And with this virus, is there any work commitments that's preventing people that are actually going to play for you this year, or do you get some opportunities for people coming back to play with you?
Mate, not really. I think all the boys are raring to go. We obviously keep in contact through Messenger and things like that, but it's hard to see them in person with the lockdown that we've had. But no, all the boys are ready to go, and I think they're chomping at the bit to get some sort of footy going. But like I said, the TRL's hands are tied, I suppose, with the restrictions from the government. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're looking to start probably end of July, which is still seems eons away, Bertie. So, I think the preferred method is just one round and go for it.
Yeah, it's probably, it's probably the fair way to do it. I know that when you don't have 2 full rounds in the regular season, it's a bit of a luck of the draw in that second round if what teams you get. So I think the fair way to do it is everyone plays each other once and you just roll into finals. So, we don't know if that's going to happen, but, the boys will be ready to go if it does.
And any fundraising you've been doing online and so forth with your club?
No, I think there is a few in the pipeline. I'm not really sure. We haven't had any meetings or anything like that to discuss it because you're not allowed to.
You can't get together, can you?
Exactly. So, no, I think once we get back going and some of these restrictions ease, I think, we may get some foot in, which would be great.
How's the golf handicap?
I haven't played. I played a game a couple of months ago and haven't played since. So I've just been quiet, spent some time with the family and work's been pretty busy. So, yeah, just living the normal life, I hope.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot, and we'll have you on the Footy Show the next few weeks.
Perfect, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Catch up on all the latest news, sport and entertainment from around the region on Toowoomba's own online television station, PTV Channel O, home of the TRL Footy Show. Find us at ptvchannelo.com or take us with you by downloading the PTV Channel O app. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.ptvchannelo.com.
Crazy Kevin on the radio.
powerfmradio.com.au.
Every week on PTV Channel O, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media on Switched On IT. Join our international team of experts every Tuesday at 7 p.m. to learn what makes the internet and social media tick and how to keep your business safe online while making the most of this exciting media. Discover a whole new world of entertainment Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on ptvchannelo.com or download the PTV Channel O app.
Yeah, well, welcome back to the second part of the Toowoomba Rugby League Virtual Footy Show. And as we left, I let the boys hang in there. And my thoughts are that, okay, guys, here's a scenario, okay? The clubs need crowds to get income. And if they don't have income, they can't make a profit. So I'm thinking that, you know, if worse comes to worse, then at least under-18s and women's rugby league is something, because they don't pay those two grades, would be an option. What do you think, Terry Cook?
Yeah, it just depends on the rules and regulations. If you can't have the crowd, I don't know whether the under-18s will want to play, because you actually play for your fans. That's for the club. It's about the community. And me, I have the what would you say, the view, whereas I play for my fans and the club and all that sort of stuff, and the honour of it. And I think if you couldn't have your fans there, as an under-18 player, I don't know, you'd have to ask them whether I'd front up. I'd say, oh, no, I'm not playing to an empty stadium. And the women's, I don't think it'd be strong enough to really get out there at the moment. I'm not sure. It depends on the rules and the regulations and all that sort of stuff. So, me personally, I wouldn't.
Give yourself an uppercut, Cookie, because the under-18s and the women's are great to watch. Don't you agree, Matty Schulze?
Yeah, mate. It's 18s. Obviously spent a fair bit of time coaching under 18s. It's very enjoyable, but it's I don't know. It'd be still, even for those boys, it'd be a little bit disheartening to be running out in front of no one. But I don't know. Sometimes playing footy over not playing footy's, that's pretty important too, I guess. But
but what I'm saying, Matty, is that, okay, we only go to stage 3 and there's 100 people in the gathering as well. And then let's say we call off the senior footy A grade, reserve grade, and second division, but certainly with 100 and hopefully they get to 500, it wouldn't be too bad to get some money into the coffers for the under-18s and women's, for the clubs to make something to at least cover their insurance.
Yeah, but he don't play for money at Valleys anyway, mate, so I don't know what you're talking about. Just play for the love of the club. So do people get paid in the TRL, do they?
Give yourself an uppercut. Over to you, Gus McKellar. Just Gus McKellar?
Oh, I don't know, Obee. I think you're dreaming big there, mate. I think you're dreaming big. Some of the 18s are flat out getting there on a Sunday as it is. Let alone with no people. So
Come on, Cookie, say something.
Let it roll.
Say something. Do you want me to sing?
Look, have you guys been paying attention?
Good. I like that suggestion, Gus.
You guys been paying attention this week? Cookie?
Always.
Okay, so here's our next segment. Wait for the trailer. It is, have they been paying attention? Did you like that? Do you think I should have danced a bit there, Cookie?
Oh, for sure, on one leg, Obee.
All right, 10 points for a correct answer, mate. And you don't have to, you can sort of sledge each other if you like. You know, you've seen the actual retro show. Okay, now we've got to have some buzzers there, okay? Now, Gus, Highfield Eagles, give us an Eagles call, mate.
I don't even know what an eagle sounds like, Obee.
I don't care, mate. We're about to come out and get to tell you.
Make it up.
What?
Cookie, you are Jundurian Woolshed. Give us a sheep, mate, you idiot.
Bah! Bah!
And a call for Roosters. Come on, Schulze.
Cock-a-doodle do, mate.
Yeah, why are you sort of James Bond sort of thing? So boring, Schulze. Anyway, here we go, okay? Let's test them out again. Go, Gus.
What?
Cookie.
Bah!
Schulze, you idiot.
Cock-a-doodle do, mate. There you go.
Okay, we lost a absolute legend of the game. Who was it this week?
What?
Bah!
Yeah, McKellar.
Is that who is it? Cookie or me?
Yeah, McKellar, you got it, mate.
He's on the trophy. Mine's gone blank.
Yeah, Bong. Okay, one of you other two.
Arthur Summons.
No,
That's
give
him.
us the sheep first, mate.
Oh, bah!
Okay, Cookie. And for another 10 points, who did he play for?
He played for Wagga Magpies, I know that.
You've got to give me the sheep,
bah!
you idiot. I'll answer the question now, idiot.
Wagga Magpies and I think West Tigers or West.
Yeah, very good. Now, he also played in another code for Australia. Who was it for?
Bah!
Cock-a-doodle do.
Yeah, over to you, Matty Schultz, just in there.
You said who?
Oh, you've gone a bit frozen there, Matthew Schultz. What was your answer again?
Was it
Schultz?
Norm Probin?
Oh, he said you said who did he play for? I just said he played for Australia.
Yeah, he did, but what other code did Arthur Summons play
No, when you
for?
said in the question, who did he play for? Australia, and I said Australia. So you put the answer in the question, Obee. So I just
what
get
other
points.
code, mate? Now you've got the floor.
No, it's not what you said in the question. Just give me the points, Obee. You played rugby union. Rugby union.
Yeah, on you,
Rugby
you
union.
legend. So you get 10 points for that. Okay, now, Gympie. All right, what's happened up at Gympie this week? What's the announcement they had? Yes, Matthew?
The Gympie Devils have just signed Greg Inglis on a contract in 2021. Captain coach.
No, that's wrong, you idiot. You other two?
Gimpy.
That's a pretty good answer, though, mate. Look on one.
Yeah, it was good, mate. And just shut up while we listen to the other two. Cookie? Are you alive, Cookie? Are you a frozen Cookie? You're going to have to log in again. By the looks of it. Okay, the answer is that they cancelled the Gympie muster. Yeah,
they cancelled everything in Queensland.
My story is better.
Don't sound surprised all again there, okay? Now, MasterChef had a really good a guest that surprised them on the show. Who was it?
Reality TV is not my forte.
No, it's not. Well, she was a very, very, very famous singer and still is. That's a hint.
A famous singer. Yeah, it was Delta Goodrum.
No.
Yeah, she got on there and did a special performance for everyone, and did a bit of cooking as well. Yeah, Delta, definitely Delta.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to answer it. Give you the answer unless you give me the buzzer.
Cock-a-doodle-doo and Delta Goodrum.
No, that's wrong, you idiot. Okay, I'll give you another hint. She's pregnant. Gus?
The singer that's pregnant, mate, narrows it down for you. You're right.
No idea. It's Katy Perry, you idiots. Okay. Now, Tasmania. All right. Now, what are they doing in Tasmania paying attention? What are they going to do from when they come from the mainland over to Tasmania? What's that going to happen there?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes, Matthew.
Just see people with shoes on, mate. That's probably the main thing. And
yeah, that's good. Gus, you got no idea, have you?
Was it even a question or what?
It's more of a statement.
Idiot. Okay, so it is that they've got free ferry service from the mainland. Hello, welcome back, Cookie, you idiot. Where have you been, mate?
The dog, chasing the dog.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know this question, mate? What's happening in Tasmania, mate? What are they giving?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. Now, let me ask the question before because you weren't there. MasterChef, mate, who was the special guest there this week?
No idea.
She's a
Terry
singer,
Cook.
and she's
Terry Cook.
and she's pregnant. You idiot.
No idea.
It's Katy Perry, and Tasmania are giving free ferry service. So the able Tasman, you can get on there for free. And Cookie, we would love to see you there forever. I can tell you. Okay, now Daniel Ricciardo, Formula One. Okay, what has happened with Daniel Ricciardo?
But
Yes, Cookie.
he's changed from, I'm not sure who he used to drive for, but now he's with Renault.
And look, that's very close because none of you guys have got any answers the last three. All right, so you're wrong.
I've given you plenty of answers.
Very close.
Plenty of answers.
Yes, cock-a-doodle-doo. Come on, Matthew. Oh, you're not going on the internet, are you? Okay, the answer is that he's left Ferrari and gone to McLaren. So there we go. Now,
I was close.
Now, Mitch
That's what I was gonna
Poyner
say.
is in the news lately. Why is he in the news?
Ah,
Who's that?
Yes, Gus McKellar.
he's running to raise money for cancer, and last time I checked, he was up to 76.5 kilometres.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. That's the first question you have actually got right.
First
And
questions are
so
relevant
well
to
done there for you, Gus. Okay, next question. Former magistrate Alan Yorkson, all right, why is he in the news at the moment in Toowoomba? You've got to be paying attention, guys. Okay?
Matt!
Now, yes, Cookie?
He just likes his name in the Chronicle.
No, that's not right. Okay, he's a former. He contracted COVID disease as a patient. So what's he done after that, guys?
Recovered.
No, you
Matt!
Yes, Cookie.
He's going on one of those trials.
Yeah, I'll give you 5 points for that, mate. What he has done is donating blood, and they're going to use the blood to help get a vaccine for COVID there as well. Okay. Hello, is anyone out there?
You're a man of knowledge.
Yeah,
You're a man of knowledge, mate.
Now, Mike Tyson. Okay, he's in the news at the moment. What's he in the news for?
Matt!
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes, Cookie.
He's fighting Holly Everdale or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Vander Holyfield. That's very
Holyfield.
good.
That's it.
Okay, Alan Jones is retiring at the moment. Who's going to take his place in Brisbane and Sydney?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes.
You, Obee. You're the man, mate. You're the man for radio. You got a head for radio, so jump in there.
Very close, mate, and very good. I hate your haircut there, Schulze. Anyone else?
Scott.
Matt!
Yes, Gus. Move into the middle of the screen, you idiot. No, the other way. Gus?
I think you just missed out to Ben Fordham, mate.
Yeah, Ben Fordham, give you 10 points there. You're up to 20. And who's going to take on the Brisbane 4BC replacement of Alan Jones?
Matt!
Yes, Cookie.
Neil Breen.
That's right, Cookie. Well done. Okay, 2 more questions to go. Daily M betting scandal today. What was that all about?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes, Gus McKellar.
Beat him by a mile.
No way.
No,
Craig
you
Bellamy
didn't.
winning Daily M Coach of the Year. There was a massive plunge where some won up to 20,000 on him.
That's good. That's great coming from the president of Gambling Anonymous here in Toowoomba. Well done, Gus. And last question, Greg Inglis. Who's he playing for over in Super League? I think who was that? Was that you, Gus?
Schulze.
Yeah, Warrington Wolves.
Well done. Okay, that's the last question. Cookie, you're the winner. You get a trip for 2 round the world. 55, you got Gus 40 and Matthew. Bad luck, mate. It's probably the haircut. You only got 30, you idiot. Okay, so Cookie, anything else you want to talk about today?
No, let's just hope that we get back to some form of rugby league by July. Let's hope it all falls into place for us because there's a bit of a void in our lives at the moment. So let's hope everyone stays healthy and happy and we get on with life.
Matthew Schulze. And who you got there, mate? What's his young fella name?
This is little Fletcher. He's a little fella, so he's meant to be in bed, but he likes to play games with us most nights and keeps coming out till about 8, 9 o'clock, don't you, mate? Makes every excuse you can just to get out of bed. So
Now, Fletcher,
Yeah, that should be. What was that? Sorry.
I don't know, but Fletcher mumbles as much as you do, Matthew.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah,
old are
he
you,
does.
Fletcher?
How old are you? He's 2. You're 2? Yeah, he's 2.
That's
3 at
good.
the end of the year.
I got more information out of Fletcher than I did you tonight, Schulze. Gus McKellar, your last say?
No, mate, just fingers crossed. Good to see the NRLs back on next week. And just one thing we do, I wouldn't mind putting forward to the TRL is final series. He's having in-goal touch judges as well, just to help with the referee on ground officials. So that was something I was thinking of.
Good idea.
What about your thoughts on that, Matthew?
Yeah, great idea. Realistically, and it probably gives some of the other referees an opportunity to be involved if we got to a grand final, you know. So, yeah, I think it's good. So, no, I support that idea. That's a good idea.
It was remiss of me to forget that to tell you that Travis Burns was in our halftime interviews as well. And don't forget, actually, over the next couple of days, I'll be interviewing Dan Aldrin, who's the president of the Toowoomba Junior Rugby League, and that'll be on Toowoomba Rugby League and Toowoomba Junior Rugby League Facebook. So we're looking forward to that. Over to you, Cookie, for your last comments and your last say. Thanks very much to Matthew and Gus.
Yeah, guys. See you all. Health and happiness and rugby league football. Greatest game of all.
Thanks, Cookie. Thanks, Obee. See you, mate.
See you, boys.